organizational meeting for council. I will free the event nomination. Count the ballots and then come back and announce the individual selected to be the nomination for Woodlands. You accept the nomination?
Yes.
Other nomination? Nomination. Congratulations. Reeve. Just before I turn the floor over to you, and after.
Swear that I will diligently to the laws 26 days. Sorry, I gotta set myself back up again here. All right, so we'll take over at item 3.1, section of the deputy. Councilor Bush.
I was just going to move the recommendation that council confirm the appointment of the February 26, 2023 station.
Any discussion on that? Okay, motion on the floor. All in favor? Any opposed? That's carried. Mix up.
Motion, I'll move that we stay the way we are.
Okay. All in favor? Okay, carried. Establishment of regular meeting dates, times, and places. So this is our opportunity to change anything, but I think it's been working pretty well other than the con. We'll see how that works out. Councilor Wilhelm.
I'd like to have a discussion about moving one of the meetings a month to an evening meeting. I've been making it work for the last year, but it is difficult on me. And when we had switched the dates every month, it was to accommodate the two other counselors that to work around their work schedule, and I think it would work with me a lot better to have a month that impacted my own personal work schedule. And on the flip side, I'm not sure administrative side, but I'm wondering on their end too, having 2 daytime meetings a month, how much that impacts their own work days, having like almost a half day taken away where all the managers are stuck in one of these meetings. So I'd like you guys to at least consider it. I'd like to move one to an evening if possible, and if that one could be on the same day that the chamber's having their meeting, then meeting as well, and it doesn't impact that meeting.
Okay, Councillor T.
I certainly support that concept when you bring into account that the meeting date changes were to accommodate work schedule. It makes sense. I think council to make sure are accommodated for. But my question is there a cost to having an evening meeting as opposed to having a
Mr. Frey?
Yeah, your worship, through to Councillor Dean, there's a and we get overtime. And then depending on which staff member is presenting at an evening meeting would get overtime. And then depending if for the Assiniboine, the possibility of travel time. But, yeah.
Councillor Cush.
Just through to Councillor Wilhelm, I'm in full support. You know, we can find, I don't know, like a 7 o'clock start or something like that for the evening. Our next council meeting will be at RMA anyways. Would it work for you if we were, say, the next Wednesday meeting after that, start that on a night?
No problem with doing the night one, but our meetings can get very lengthy. And especially the 2 councillors that live out by Fort Assiniboine, they'll be getting home at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So I think that is gonna be a problem.
Councillor Culkin, then Councillor Williams.
For me, it really doesn't matter. It's make sure that all of council to be at these council meetings. For me, that's the most important thing. I don't have a problem driving at night, so that for me, that's not going to be an issue. I think that it actually, for me, it'll actually help me out a little bit too, because sometimes in the wintertime, it's tough for me to get here at 9:30 in the morning when I'm doing some of the work that I'm doing. So I'm in support of that.
If we can keep it similar days, which are like that day, night meetings work perfectly fine for me. Don't matter what time we get home.
All right, I see Mr. Frank just raising his hand really quick.
No, I'll just wait till all council and then.
Councillor Dean?
Oh.
so is there could we be excuse me, so 7 o'clock was proposed. Councillor Prestige, brought up a concern, like could we go at 5?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, sir. The times don't matter to me as long as it's after 5 p.m., that's when my work day ends. So
So you mean 5:30?
6.
yeah, 5:36, and anytime after 5. Honestly, my job is only 2 minutes from here, so as long as the need, I care about.
Okay. Sorry, there was a hand up over here. Councillor Cush?
No, I was just, if we 6, that would be great. And you were meeting. Just
If considering change and with the individuals that are working that have schedules, would council consider going back to the first and third with the schedule when it's a day? You might have 2-day meetings in a row and then 2 night meetings in a row based on the schedule. Because from Councillor Wilhelm indicated from an impact, our rotation every 2 weeks is, we know from schedule and doing an agenda up, like, again, whereas the first and third or the second and fourth, right, again, would help from a administrative. But again, you have to kind of be flexible, because I would think that some of these, instead of 2 weeks, would fall when an individual is working during that day, and then you'd have to switch to a night meeting.
Okay, Councilor Dean, then Councilor Bush.
Yeah, thank you. So kind of what I'm getting from this conversation is that there's definitely a willingness to work together to find a rotation that works, but it might be hard to figure that out right now. So I'd propose that we allow administration to bring this back. We can can we table this motion and continue with the schedule we have, and then have administration come back with a rotation, have everybody review it, make sure it makes sense, and then pass a motion to pass it.
Well, we're at the very least gonna have to put a council meeting or 2 date together, so we know.
Sure, yeah.
So that we have something.
So just to clarify, what I was saying was continue with the current rotation until we get this new rotation figured out.
Okay, Councilor Cush, then Councilor Wilhelm.
Just possible things of my job outside of here, the schedules and rotations and everything are going to be completely changed, so I'm not sure how that's going to play out right now. I'm trying to figure that out too. If we could maybe just take a minute and maybe see what things look like going back to twice a week, and then Councillor Wilhelm's can also look at the schedule and see how it works too, or how it plays out. But I would still recommend, if we're going to run what we have currently, if in place, RMA will interfere with your workday. The one after, if we can make that at least a night evening. Councillor Wilhelm, we only got a couple meetings left in the end of the year anyway, so.
Okay, Councilor Wilhelm.
Well, I think it can tie into both what both councillors are saying. Is why don't we provide, once you get a question on what your new schedule is, why don't we provide administration what the requirements for the 3 of us who are the most restricted to administration, and then they can come back with a schedule, and then we can discuss and vote on that schedule based upon how it works. If they can, it's nice between all 3 of us, and then it can come back to council and we can discuss it, and if we need to make any adjustments there, rather than trying to hash out an entire schedule today.
Yep. I'm just wondering if we want to push this to the, can we approve it the way it is right now, continue on with the schedule, and make a separate motion to push the meeting dates to the governance and priorities meeting in the future when we get it figured out, or do we just want to go straight to a council meeting?
Yeah, your worship, members of council, yes, you can, right, is continue with that and then have a motion in your regular council meeting to set your January 23rd, 22 meeting to a night meeting, if that's acceptable by council, whether it's 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, or 7:15, whatever time you want, right? And then at that meeting, we'll have the new schedule based on, or a couple proposals for councils for consideration.
And just to clarify, I can make this work for the next little while doing day stuff. It would be easier if, once we find something that's amenable in the future, to fix the schedule up a little bit for me.
Okay, Councilor Cush.
No, and just, I mean, you guys have been very flexible with our 2 of us having shift work reviews, so I see no problem if the rest of council's okay with it, administration's okay with it. Starting, like I said, not the next meeting, because that'll be RMA, we canceling with one after that on a night, so you're not impacted as much.
Okay. Anybody else? All right, so we're gonna go with the current meeting for now, and then we'll have a separate motion to bring it back. later, and we'll do that motion during the regular council meeting, would be easiest, is that right, Mr. Frank?
Your worship, members are confirming the existing that,
We'll keep going the way things
Yeah.
are right now, then we'll have a separate motion to look at the meeting dates and make that motion.
Council holds their regular scheduled meetings on every other Wednesday of each month, commencing at 9:30 a.m. to be held electronically at the Woodlands County Municipal Office in Whitecourt until further notice.
Okay, sorry, I'm just looking at that, the wording of that RFD.
Yeah, sorry, when I was saying it, I'm like,
Are we not in person anymore?
yeah, that says to be.
no, it should be in person. Yeah,
Okay.
that's,
It's in person with,
My motion to stay instead of electronically.
thank you.
I was reading it and I'm like, something seems weird there.
Okay, so the motion's amended to read in person. Nancy, you have that? Very good. Any discussion on that motion? All in favor? Any opposed? That is great. So we move on to appointment of council representatives to committees. And
your worship, members of council, on your desk is the existing appointment. And then just so, the Miller Western Public Advisory Committee, my understanding is still the Miller Western Public, but it could be considered the Canfor depending on what happens there. So just council.
all right, do we have to do all these appointments? These are all 1 year, unless noted.
Reeve Rose?
Go ahead.
Would it be quicker just to ask if there's anybody who would like to change a board they're on?
Okay.
And make amendments to that instead of going through board by board?
Okay, we can do that.
Can I just make a couple comments, I guess?
Go ahead, Councilor Miller.
So a few of them have on the list have maybe outdated information. So get here under our information for a couple of the boards, specifically Laxan Foundation and Community Futures, indicated in the information as those are evening meetings. That's not true. Those are all day meetings.
Right, and where's the Community Futures one here? Where is it?
It says meets
Actually
every
has me as the,
That was based on last year, and I know you guys did the switch
Right.
during the year, so,
okay.
yeah. This is the organization.
All right, oh, Councilor Prestige, go ahead.
Through the chair. Councillor Wilhelm suggested that he didn't want to do community futures anymore, and I'll put my name forward for that.
Okay,
And just for clarification, it's not that I don't want to do it. It's just that
It's your statement.
I'm missing their meetings and I'm not providing value to that group. I mean, when I'm there, I believe I'm providing value, but I've had to miss so many of their meetings and so many like really great things that they're doing. And I would hope that if Councillor Prestige wants to do it, he's going to provide more value than I can. It's really unfortunate because I wanted to be part of that group, but it's just the daytime meetings are very difficult for me.
yeah, I used to sit on that one, and the meetings are pretty involved as well,
Yeah.
which is a nice way of saying long.
It's a great group. It's just, I feel bad for how little I can be involved with them.
Yep. I have one that I'm gonna have a conflict here with too, Councilor.
Yeah, I would really like to put my name forward. The reason for that, for me, for doing that is that first of all, I think I'm out on the very east end of this county. I really believe that I'd like to rebuild some of the relationships there and try to figure out how we can, put things back together, because I sit on economic development, I sit on the growth, and I've recognized the need to have the regional collaborative framework improved.
Okay.
So I would really like to sit on that board, and I guess I'll leave it up to the council to decide whether that's valuable or not.
Okay. I'm just gonna, I wanna step back just one. Forward for the community holidays. Or was it Council Preston was the only one? I just wanna know if we have
An alternate
we need an alternate. That's right.
as well.
I mean, I can go on futures as an alternate if required, yeah, but just the primary is too difficult for me.
Okay. All right. There it is there. So. let's see here. Okay. All right, so there was the joint liaison, so let's, oh, sorry, Councilor Cush,
Just,
go ahead.
one of the committees I sit on, the Alberta Care Committee, it shows myself as the alternate and Councillor Williams as the primary. I've been getting all of the contacts that had me as the primary. I was just wondering if we could possibly switch those roles. Second page at the bottom, you can see other recyclers. Okay, that's what I figured. I've been going to the meetings and stuff, so I just wondered if we could just switch those two roles.
So
Acceptable.
you want
Got
us,
any information on that?
sorry, so you,
Yeah.
with that?
They probably have him in his primary.
Okay, any discussion from council? No? All right, no, that I work with is, the landfill committee. I seem to love putting that one, right during the RMA meeting that I'm in Edmonton for, and I cannot make it.
Second from the bottom,
Second
on
from the
page
bottom.
2.
These pages aren't numbered.
That'd be the page that you turn over after the first one.
Yeah, but I this now, see?
Yep.
It says outside of agencies at the bottom, just one above that.
No, okay. All right, so currently sitting on that board is myself and Councillor Prestige. And does anyone else want to jump on to that? That one's been meeting about once, 2 months?
I was just curious.
They're generally pretty quick meetings, but
In, what is it?
yeah, they really break up your day.
The day meeting, I can't go.
I can put my name in for now. If my rotation plays out the way it should be, if it's an afternoon meeting, as long as, they're a little bit flexible. We can play for now and see how that goes.
Yes, go ahead, Councillor.
For Phil rep there to be able to hold a meeting. So I generally can make those meetings. So as long as one of us is there, we're okay.
Okay.
I don't see an alternate, and what I was gonna suggest is I could let my name stand as an alternate in case your work schedule didn't allow you one that's not required.
Have an alternate in that.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're appointed.
Okay, all right.
Does the ex stand for that?
Yeah, you are on all committees, right?
So I
So
could,
you
I
could
act
step
as an
in.
alternate if we can't get our two backups, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go with that. What was the one I'm missing? Okay, we'll go back to joint liaison.
Can I just, Laxine and Foundation, what time is their meetings? In the afternoon, or you said
They're like late afternoon type thing.
late after? Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's like typically
not a
about
specific time
maybe
then.
2 o'clock.
And you're good with that, just so,
So far, yeah.
thank you.
The issue with, that was coming up with Community Futures was almost always we'd have one of our own council meetings on Wednesday, and then I have a community meeting during the day on the next day, so then I'd miss days.
Okay. Remember joint liaison. Go ahead, Councilor Preston.
Through the chair, I would like to see another counselor from different areas in the county to represent the county at a joint liaison instead of all three of them being close to Whitecourt. I'd be totally in favor of that. And I don't know if you want to do it kind of the southeast side. And
And to be clear too, there could be changes coming with that joint liaison committee with the education. That there's a encapsulation in there on the committee, what it's called. So it's a little up in the air right now too.
Well, your worship, members of council, under the ICF agreement and the arbitration, there's a separate dispute in regard to that you issues that would come up from time to time.
Yeah, that's true. And then the one board is going to be created by the ICF agreement, is it not?
The
The terms
board
of reference in that board and everything will be
Is-
as a result of,
is clearly
Yes.
defined,
yes,
yes.
okay. But we don't have it yet. Counselor Dean.
I'll defer to Councillor Wilhelm and then follow him.
I was just gonna say, one, we haven't had this committee meeting in a long time, which is fine, but I understand you guys wanting somebody from the outer areas wanting to be on that board. I mean, you guys have slightly different concerns than we do, the ones that are divisions that live slightly closer. So if Councillor Culkin wants to be on that board and believes he can bring value, I can give up my spot for him.
Okay. All right. How does the council feel? Yes? Okay. Yeah, thanks, Councilor.
Yeah, thank you.
Alright, so that'll be. An alternate with a liaison, is that not?
Believe my memory serves me correctly, is you can appoint an alternate if the individual is absent, any other member of council can attend.
Can that be anybody, or we have to
Believe so, but we would have to check.
Okay. Sorry, Counselor
I was just saying,
Cush,
if they're looking for an alternate, I would definitely put my name in for an alternate, so they could.
on the joint liaison?
What I would do for now is just leave this as is, and then we'll research it, and bring it back to
Okay.
council for consideration.
All right. And Counselor Coolman, so we're good with that. All right. Counselor Crush.
Human Resource Committee, do you even need that anymore, now you have an HR person?
Your worship, members of council, I believe that it has merit once, in the event that something comes up that requires that committee. I know that it meets. I don't think there is any harm in not having it.
Okay. All right, is there anything else? Okay. Mr. Frank, how do you want to go through this?
Yep.
Do we want to do just the changes and then a large motion, or do you want to go box by box here and do the appointments?
Yeah, your worship, members of council, just to confirm, and then I'll answer your question, the joint liaison are the changes to the committee structures is under the joint liaison is Reeve Burrows, Councillor Dean, Councillor Culkin. The Whitecourt Regional Solid Waste Management Authority is Councillor Cush, Councillor Cressy. The Alberta Care Committee is Councillor Cush, and with Councillor Williams being the alternate. We've changed the community features, say day meetings, and the councillor is Councillor Prestige, with Councillor Williams being the alternate. Wilhelm, sorry, I apologize. And that's the 4 changes that we have.
Yep. There was only one other suggestion I was gonna make, the Northern Alberta elected leaders one. We have that as usually the mayor, and then we have an alternate here. Since it's kind of a mayor or, can we change the, or do we have terms of reference on this where it becomes the deputy mayor? Deputy Reeve, and usually then we've gotta get rid of
Your worship, this board is an external committee that, or board that you appoint one member, and if an alternate is chosen, then that individual, we just inform that board that there's an alternate to attend.
Okay.
Yeah. You have one voting seat on that position, on that board.
I was just thinking of the structure of it. I'm cognizant of trying to get the Deputy Reeves involved in more things, so. Okay. Everything I heard was copied correctly. Is everyone okay with the way we've gone here? All right. Now, so do we make a motion to approve the changes as read?
So that council adopt the 2022-23 Woodlands County list for the appointment of councillors to committees as amended as follows, and then list the 4 items if that would be. And that will keep municipal affairs happy.
Okay, who wants to make that motion? Who's been tracking the,
I got it wrote down, I can check.
okay, go ahead.
Make a motion that council adopt the 2022-2023 Woodlands County Committee list for the appointment of councillors to committees as amended. And the changes would be joint lead committee, Councillor Wilhelm, add Councillor Kuchen. Whitecourt Regional Solid Waste Management Authority, remove Reeve Burrows and add Councillor Cush. Alberta Care Committee, change the main person to Cush, but Williams, myself as the alternate. And the final change would be Community Futures Yellowhead East, remove Burrows and Prescott.
It's gonna be removed,
Councilor Wilhelm.
yeah, Councilor Wilhelm, this one's
Oh,
there.
sorry, remove, I'll accept that as a friendly amendment. I knew it was gonna screw up one.
All right, that motion is accepted as amended. Any discussion on the motion? Councilor
Just
Dean?
clarification, was Councillor Wilhelm not listed as the secondary, the alternate on Lac St. Anne?
No, Community Futures. So Community Futures is now primary Councilor Prestige, me as the
That's
alternate.
the alternate. You had it, Reeve Burrows was the main.
They changed it up.
Okay.
All right. Everyone good? Any discussion to that motion further? Okay, all in favor?
As long as Nancy's got it.
I think so.
Any opposed? That's carried. All right, back to an agenda here. Done our appointments. Council representatives to committees. Appointment for the Ag Services Board. Councilor Dean.
I moved Councillor Colkin as chair of the Ag Services Board for a term of 1 year.
Okay. Any discussion on that motion? Nothing? All in favor? Any opposed?
Thanks, guys.
You can vote for yourself.
Can I be?
You can. Yeah.
Is there
All right. Signing officer for Woodlands County. Sorry, I'm just trying to get back to my RFD here. On the wrong schedule. All right. Who wants, Councilor Dean, go ahead.
I move that council authorizes the Reeve, or in the absence of the Reeve, the deputy Reeve, or in the absence of the deputy Reeve, any councillor to sign negotiable instruments on behalf of Woodlands County.
Okay, very good. Any discussion on that motion? All in favor? Any opposed? That is carried. With that, it brings us to adjournment of the organizational meeting. Councilor Cush.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, discussion on a motion to adjourn. All in favor?